What's up, guys? Omar here, broker and CEO of Again.Mortgage and OMA Realty. So this is going to be another mortgage rate update. Wells Fargo, like every other bank and mortgage company and everything, they're laying off a bunch of people. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, they are officially divorced. And how much is this guy giving away a month in child support? Jesus Christ, it makes me not even want to get divorced. I mean, not saying that I have to reiterate what I just said because that sounded really, really bad. It makes you want to reconsider if the thought came around in divorce to get a divorce.
But I think the bigger problem is here. Your man is stupid.
But how does a guy that lost all of his contracts be able to afford that much? And then the house that he has. Now, okay, so in the world of real estate, especially when you hear like, oh my God, these people live in Calabasas and like, oh, all these celebrities live in Calabasas. So the thing with Kanye West, I'm a big fan of him, regardless of all the stupid stuff that he says here and there, you know, hurting people's feelings in any way, shape, or form. It's always a bad thing. It's a terrible thing. Like, what's the point? Unless you're kind of stating the obvious in something, don't be a hypocrite in what you say. Don't be stupid. But we are a real estate and finance channel. So I'm actually going to show you a house, which I was actually shocked. Okay, a house that's $4.5 million. A house that's $4.5 million. Not in Calabasas. It's in actual city that's called Hidden Hills. Hidden Hills is like completely separate. Like Calabasas, like old, and then you have Hidden Hills. Hidden Hills, like I think the cheapest. I think he might have possibly have bought the cheapest house in Hidden Hills. And how close is it to the whole old house that he has? I swear to God, I'm gonna show you. It's freaking hilarious. Like, I don't have the balls to do something like this. Like, God forbid, like let's say my wife ever left me and things just didn't go the way that it was supposed to do. I could never, ever in my life do this. That is way too close for comfort. I'll show you exactly the picture, but since we are a mortgage company, mortgage rate update as of 12/2/2022. 30-year fix will be sitting at 5.78. 15-year fix will be sitting at 5.15. 30-year high balance will be sitting at 5.76. A DSCR loan will be sitting at 8.5. Bank statement loan will be sitting at 8.50. FHA 30-year will be sitting at 5.30. 76 adjustable rate mortgage will be sitting at 6.14. USDA 30-year fix will be sitting at 8 or 5.35. VA 30-year fix will be sitting at 5.73, and hard money fix and flip will be sitting at 9.75%. Why does that seem like it was the same mortgage rates as yesterday? I have absolutely zero idea. But now Wells Fargo, like everybody else, we all know, including me, we are doing so bad in the world of mortgaging. Mortgaging sucks right now. Real estate as a whole just sucks. Inventory is increasing, and then mortgage applications have decreased to like almost a standstill. Like, we've lost, like we went from doing probably maybe 30 applications a month to now we're barely trickling 2. It is terrible. Now, Wells Fargo is feeling the hurt too. They're saying new monetary policies that are coming in. They're kind of screwing it up for everybody. Wells Fargo is taking a thing. Now they're going to start cutting. Now this is going to be a trickle effect, okay? Because you can't sustain that big of a workforce. In the last 2 years, we hired a ton of people, including myself. I hired a bunch of loan officers. Now, whenever you do hire, well, when business isn't doing too well, and this is the thing that I hate about business, and this is why I always implore everybody to try to find an avenue to where you don't have to work for people. You don't have to work for big corporations. I would if I had no choice but to. And of course, if you do, by all means, more power to you. If that's a route that you take and that's a choice that you make, then that's all for you. But you're only as good as the amount of business that they're able to produce. Now, everybody overextended themselves. Overextended. And now Wells Fargo, they're saying that the monetary policies that are coming in by the whoever is implementing the new monetary policies, it's putting a hurting on them. with the NMLS, certain states are now getting charged assessment fees. Assessment fee just means like if you did X amount of dollars, like you have to pay just to renew your license. It's like $1,500 bare minimum, and then you could go up to like, you could go up to the millions. And assessment, depending on what the national mortgage licensing, whatever system or they call themselves, put in. But then JP Morgan Chase is let go. Sprout, I think, went under. There's probably like maybe 150 to 200 different mortgaging companies that either shut down their whole entire retail side as a whole, or they just shut down shop. Like I did one loan, okay? I did one loan where I went ahead and submitted the loan. We're in the process of closing. We're actually 4 days away from closing to get the wet signatures on the title, right? And then you have to wait for the funding and everything like that. But a week away from CTC. We're just waiting for some title work done, and that's it. That, in between all of that, the mortgage company in itself, they decided, the wholesaler we sold to, they sent us an email that says we shut down shop. So now we're scrambling, trying to find another wholesaler, trying to get the deal put back together. And it wasn't as good as the deal that we had before, but it was the deal that we got. And then there was other things where mortgage companies were, they weren't honoring locks. Now, this is going to be something that's going to go out and just kind of stay within everything that's going to be happening now. The the Federal Reserve is going to go out and increase rates again. Right now, I see interest rates kind of like twiddling a little bit on the maybe 5-6%, but it's going to start increasing, especially as inventory slowly trickles. Like inventory is not increasing at all. Banks need to make money. The way that they make money is by charging you a percentage interest rate, and it has to be different than what the Fed fund rate is. So what the Fed fund does is the Federal Reserve is when you see the interest rate on the Fed rate is the amount that they charge banks. So if it's like at 3.5%, that's how much they're charging to go ahead and borrow and buy and sell money, right? If you're at 4%, 4.5%, 5%, that's how much. And then on the other side, the depositories or whoever is buying or whatever wholesaler is lending that money out, well, they have to make money too. But it's gonna be a slow bleed, and it's gonna be probably in the next, I would say probably June of next year is when we're actually gonna see a big hit. Right now, year-to-year sales have declined 36.9% across the board. But enough of that. Let's get into fun things. And you know what else I hate? So I did a video yesterday about this damn guy named Dave Ramsey, okay? This freaking guy. My cousin sent me something. And now everything that I look at, every YouTube thing that I have, like his tweets are coming into my Twitter feed. And I'm not subscribed to the guy. I don't look at anything. And now I have to go ahead and just trash everything that this guy says because he is giving misinformation. And there's this tweet that he popped out, and I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But I'm going to go ahead and let you know about Kanye West, my dude, my guy. He lives not too far away from me. I live in a city called Porter Ranch. He lives in a city called Hidden Hills. We're probably like maybe 20 minutes away. So he's one of my dudes here. I like him. I love his music. The guy's going through a divorce. He's going to say some crazy shit. Like, I can't imagine if you're going through a divorce and you end up getting your kids stripped away, like the shit that goes on in your mind. Like, you went from having a home where your kids and your family and everything are there, and then all of a sudden that gets, the family that you knew gets torn away, and the poor guy, he lost his mother, and he has nobody really in his corner at all. So, and then on the other side, the wife, she does have everybody in the corner. She has everything that she's doing. But they have equal access to them. Now, that doesn't really mean that they have equal access to their children because they have 50% custody. But even within that 50% custody, 80% of the time they're going to be with their mother. Now, he lost all of these deals with Balenciaga, with Adidas, with just about everybody that has anything to do with this guy. And he has to pay $200,000 per month in child support. That's due in her account, wired, every single month. Now, they bought a house in Hidden Hills, right? It was a really, really nice house. They tore it down. They built it completely up. Now it's worth about, let's say, relatively, they're they're saying $60 million. So what does this guy do? He buys a house right next door. And when I mean right next door, like he didn't give a damn. Now, surprisingly, I'm going to show you the house. I'm going to show you the house that Kanye bought for $4.5 million. Now, it is nothing great. I swear to God, my house is way better than this house. It's about 3,600 square feet. Now, look at the entryway. I'm going to show you like the kitchen, the backyard. He has some horses there, which is great. It's a great tax write-off for him. It's pretty nice, but it's not something that you would think that the potentially the king of controversy and the king of style presently, right? I mean, of course, you have your Tom Fords and you have all the other guys, but like, as far as we're concerned, we know Kanye is like, making all this crazy stuff, right? He has to pay 50% of the kiddo's educational expenses, including tuition, and will foot 50% of the bill with security expenses, which I understand. That's, you need to go ahead and do that. But $200,000 a month, every single month. And then what did he do? This house that he went ahead and bought, $4.5 million, right next door to his now ex-wife. You know what he did? Which is not a nice house at all, as you saw the pictures that I went ahead and popped up on there. He gave it to her. So he's paying $200,000 a month. He gave her the house. 80% of the time, the kids are going to be with their mother, and he's going to respectively go ahead and take care of the other half of the bills. The man is, that's pretty generous. Now, he did say something where he was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and change my name to Ye. The reason why he even changed his name to Ye, because he thinks in the future that he could possibly, maybe get back together with his wife. I am a little bit of a fanboy. I like the guy. Whatever, $200,000 a month seems like a hefty penny to go out and pay, plus other additional costs. So you're looking at roughly, probably, I would assume, between $300,000 and $350,000 every single month to go ahead and pay for these kids. Damn, it is cheaper to go ahead and keep her. Now, we're going to get to this guy, Dave Ramsey. Okay, Dave Ramsey. Oh, why does he do this? Why does he do this to my life? Why do I have to... I hate doing stuff like this because it doesn't, but this is wrong. Okay, so he sent out a tweet, okay? And I have to do this only because it came on my Twitter, and this is wrong. Once again, the man is saying bad information. He tweeted, "Your credit score doesn't matter. A credit score is nothing but an I love debt score. It's proof that you've borrowed money and paid it back so that you can borrow more money and pay that back. And the cycle goes on forever. If you want life without payments, stop chasing a life with payments." When I talk about this, people usually ask how to buy a home without credit score. It's completely possible, and it's called manual underwriting. Mortgage lenders used to do this all the time. They simply verify your ability to repay the loan by checking things like your employment and your record of paying things like rent, utilities, and applicable bills. Don't believe the lie that you need a credit score. You'll just be fine without one. Oh my God. It hurts. It hurts to read stuff like this. When somebody with this type of platform is able to say ridiculous things. Now, there is one part that he's right. We do have manual underwriting. Manual underwriting is something that we're able to do. Now, before the 1990s, early 1990s, when AUS, which is the automated underwriting system, which connects your credit score to the guidelines put by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which now, well, it was back in the day, it was Fannie Mae, but then Freddie Mac went ahead and dumped into it. And now there's two automated underwriting systems that we follow, DU and LP. Those are the ones that we go that is connected to your credit score. Now, we do have manual underwriting, whether you have what's called a down payment assistance, but we still follow FHA guidelines with creditworthiness, credit scores. We still need all of that. Now, in a sense, to go ahead and say, you do not need credit to go ahead and buy a house, and you do need manual underwriting. If you do manual underwriting, which a lot of wholesalers, especially now, will not do. Because even though Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac set a guideline that says, you know what, you are able to manual underwriting, well, that is a discretion of the wholesalers and the people who are selling those loans to go ahead and not put that overlay within the guidelines that they set forth. That means that if I went ahead and said, Fannie Mae says manual underwriting is allowed if I had X, Y, and Z, the wholesaler says, I don't care, we're not going to go ahead and use manual underwriting. You are not allowed to use it on a conventional FHA, VA, any of that. We will not do it. Then what do? Number two, if you do manual underwriting, you also get worst case pricing scenario on everything. That means that we're going to go ahead and judge you based off of the lowest credit score that you could possibly get. So does credit score not mean anything? Absolutely not. Can we manual underwrite? Right now, unless there's somebody that I don't know, well, we can manually underwrite on non-qualified mortgages, which we do have QM loans and non-QM loans. Non-QM loans are those loans that, you know, you're going to have to put 20% down, 20, 25, 30% down on majority of those. But if you want to fall under the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, VA, USDA guidelines, FHA, credit score is extremely important, especially when you have a higher interest rate. Or if you do manual underwriting, you will get the highest interest rate possible. Why do that to yourself? Credit is such an important thing. It shows, if it's common sense. If I could take a debt out and pay it back, and I am asking another person, hey, can you give me X amount of dollars? Now, you're not asking for pennies on the dollar. You're asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, might be millions of dollars. How am I going to know that you are good to go? What? All of a sudden, you're going to have... There's been mortgage fraud based off of doing manual underwriting. That's why these overlays happen. Now, what do I mean by fraud? That means that we go ahead and do what's called we verify your proof of rent, right? Proof of rent. Now, that could be any type of management company. That could be a homeowner, and we're just relying on a person. You could put anybody that you want, and those documents get doctored up more than anything else in mortgaging. So your big wholesalers, like I love United Wholesale Mortgage. I like Rocket TPO. These are the two biggest ones. They give the best service, the best, like majority of the time, the best pricing. United Wholesale Mortgage is now one of the best wholesaler or number one wholesaler in volume. These are the requirements that they have. They will not do manual underwriting on qualified mortgage products. It is very, very seldom. Now, if you do not have a credit score, you're able to go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and pop up some of the guidelines based off of exactly what Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, go ahead and put. Actually, I'll just put the link in the description below, and you can look at it yourself. Those are just guidelines based off of that. Now, I don't know if he has any ties with a mortgage company and they're just trying to like bring in people on non-qualified mortgages in. I'm not sure. If he does, comment below. Let me know. Does he have any ties with a mortgage company? But as a mortgage broker, as a person who does this day in and day out for my entire life, just know that this is wrong. Credit score matters. Take care of your credit score. Don't mess it up. Take credit cards. It is not a difficult concept. Go get a credit card. Swipe your credit card. End of the month. Pay that credit card off. The hell is this? I'm even angry I'm even reading this. Credit score is important. Now, if you were interested in any one of those mortgaging products, link in the description below for up to 50% commission rebate on purchasing your next home, 0% listing on selling your home, or any mortgaging assistance. Like I've said 1,000 times. I think I just said it before. Link in the description below. Like, subscribe, comment. Until next video, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Peace.